Hey everyone, welcome to the Anderson Bros Outdoors. I'm Jake. We have an Axial CJ-7 sitting right here. This is going to be part one of a mini-part series. Today we're just going to open it, run it, review it, and let you know what we think of it right out of the box. And we're back. So the first thing we're going to do is open this thing up. I'm not going to bore you to death with the specifications. The reason that we purchased this vehicle is because we want another scale car. As you can see, we like scale vehicles. They're a lot of fun. We're going to try and keep it really nice and clean or fresh looking and run it as much as possible. Without further ado, let's open the box. We did get the silver color, which is the blue and clear or silver, whatever you want to call it. It does have the straight axles instead of portals. It looks like it has a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. No more box. Radio is zip tied to the end. And this thing is beautiful. And this one has stuff in it. The other one did not. Right out of the box, this thing is gorgeous. I kind of like these tires. I was not going to like them. I have already got new tires to change them, but I really kind of like the way that they feel. Sure, they're not J Concepts or Proline quality, but they do feel pretty nice right out of the box. Some initial impressions: we have scale things everywhere. Unfortunately, we don't have hood pins. It is stickers for that and the vent, but we do have scale wipers, scale mirrors, and it is sitting on a box. So it will eliminate you from having the dreaded shock leak. Oh man, look how beautiful that is. Now this blue is obviously not painted on. It is a sticker and it's not stuck very well. That's kind of a bummer right out of the box. I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can see where the hood creases. There is like a raised portion there. Take this card popper paper out and there you have it. This thing does sit up pretty high. These springs are real bouncy. I think we're going to put some different springs on here. Initial impression. Looking at it, it's like a boat. Just put a baby to sleep in this thing. It is a fantastic looking truck for $499.99. There's a lot of scale details between the front glass to, and it's not glass, it's Lexan obviously, to the plastic cage, to the plastic seats. And there's a lot of intricate details. There's plastic steering wheel. It is a beautiful, beautiful truck. I wonder if the doors do look like they open. They're pinned in, so that's awesome. It looks like there is room or an opportunity for lights. It is a straight axle truck, which is what I was kind of concerned about. I didn't know that they were straight axle. I thought they were portal. But the good news is that they're not. They are straight axle, and I do see some wires in there, so I'm guessing the lights work right out of the box. I'm really digging the metal, or really the plastic body protectors. I'm hoping that there's a company that makes metal placements for this and then metal sliders. I have seen the metal bumpers, so stay tuned. We're gonna add a bunch of really cool stuff to this truck. And I will do it all on video, so that way, if you wanna add the cool stuff, you can. Just follow the video. This looks like a pretty typical SCX platform with the really cool body on it. The wheels are two-piece. These tires should come off relatively easy, and the way that they feel, I might put them in rotation for some of the short films and other stuff that I use this for, because they do feel pretty good, and they are licensed Mickey Thompson Baja Trail Boss tires. Baja Boss tires, excuse me, not Trail Boss. There is a brushed motor inside. It does have an Oregon license plate. Has some plastic shackles on the plastic bumper in the rear. I do like how it has different shock mounting positions, and the shock towers are actually removable. So you could make your own shock towers, print them out, and utilize them, which is something that we'll probably end up doing. This is a chassis mounted servo truck, meaning that it is a 3-link front end, just like a real Jeep would be. I'm not sure how we're supposed to take the body off. It looks like there are some pins in the front. Pull these pins out. There might be some pins in the back. We'll pull those pins out. The body comes off. Oh, and it does. That's nifty. So we do have lights, brake lights, and we have headlights. There's a radiator up front. There is a simulated motor. Looks like some sort of LS motor right next to the steering servo, which I assume that you can take out and put a winch there if you'd like. Got a dig. It's not a 2-speed. It's got a dig unit on it, though. Well, that's sweet. Right out of the box. Typically what we'll do is we'll change out all of the electronics. We'll put a fusion in here. We'll put a better steering servo in there. Right out the gate, I'm not going to do that. I might have some plans for the electronics in the future, but for the time being, we're just going to run it how it is. The unfortunate part is, since this is a 2-in-1 Spectrum setup, we are not going to be able to run our Radio Master because this is a newer Spectrum frequency. The Radio Master doesn't connect to it. I mean, this is a pretty typical Spectrum radio. The thumb steering. These are EC3 plugs, I think is what these are, which I don't have any of. We do have different plugs for these, so we're going to end up putting a XT60 on here, which is really the standard. Horizon Hobbies and Spectrum and Low-C and all of the people under Horizon Hobbies are actually using these EC type connectors because they have proprietized their batteries, which is something that I'm not extremely happy with. And instead of running a balance port, they're actually running a balance board. And so there's a single wire instead of the balance connectors, which is okay. But the problem is that it's only Spectrum. So you got to buy the Spectrum batteries. You got to buy the Spectrum charger. You got to buy the Spectrum whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, I'm already running everything XT60, so I'm not buying any of that stuff. I'm sorry to tell you, unless you want to mail it to me for free, we're not going to use it. Let's see if we can find a battery that works in this thing. So we were able to find an adapter. It is an EC3 to XT60. It plugs right up in here like this, and then we have a 3SZ battery. This ESC should be 2 or 3S capable, so there's no issue there. The next thing we're going to do is put the batteries in the remote, and we're going to fire this thing up and see what all the cool features are. And that is on, so let's turn the truck on. We have power, ladies and gentlemen. That does not seem like enough wheel speed for a trail truck. This rear suspension is killing me, so I'm gonna let these shocks down all the way because these springs are so long and the back end sits up so high. One of the first upgrades in the next video is going to be suspension. So we're going to get that dialed in and then we're going to tell you how we did it. The button only controls the dig and it doesn't keep it there. It only actuates it while you have the button pressed. You can see it. It's like all cattywampus. It's leaned over. So cool looking. This is such a cool truck. So the body's kind of a pain to put on there. Enough with the truck. The truck looks beautiful. We're going to take it out here in a minute, but first let's talk about some of the future upgrades that are going to happen to it in the upcoming videos. So the first things first, we did purchase some tires with it. We've got some of these BF Goodrich Crawler, KM3, TA, whatever you want to call them. They are in G8 because that's the only Proline compound that I purchased for the area. So the next one is a little special. We got this not too long ago, and I think it's going to look absolutely phenomenal on this Jeep. And so that's why we're going to use them. They are the very limited edition Curry HD44 blue diff cover axles. So we're going to purchase an F10 axle kit for the front and the rear, and then we're going to load it up into these, and we're going to put them on this truck. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that will happen in a future video. We're going to break this thing in right, and then we're going to start making some modifications. Now, one of the other modifications that I know that there is available for it is Harley Designs, which is another YouTube channel. He has created a transmission mount for the VFD. Now, I don't know if we're going to use that or not. I've looked at it. We might actually use something a little different, but we'll figure that out in a future video. This one is really just about getting the truck open, talking about things that we like, don't like, and then some potential future upgrades like the suspension, the wheels, things of that nature. If you want to see those things, feel free to subscribe to the channel and get a notification when these videos drop. I've given away enough secrets on the future modifications. Let's take this thing outside and let's take it for a drive. Oh no, first scratch. And we're back. This thing is so much fun. As you can see from the footage, it just works right out of the box. There are a couple of things that we're gonna show you here in a moment, but first things first, we're gonna talk about what we like, what we didn't like, and if we would buy it again. So we're gonna start out with the cons list because it's very short. The first thing is the suspension. It is gonna need some tweaking and tuning, but out of the box, if you lower the collar all the way to the top, meaning if you screw the little spring collar up all the way as far as it can go, it actually performs pretty decently. That's not to say the suspension doesn't need updated, but for all intents and purposes, it works out of the box. The next thing we didn't like so much are the stickers. So the stickers aren't really stuck extremely well. We would have preferred that this blue be paint. Paint would look a lot better, I think, but you know, it is what it is. Can't complain about everything. The tires feel okay out of the box. They feel decent. They feel grippy, but they're a really hard compound. They just don't provide much traction out in the wild. Now, the video doesn't show this very well, but that is absolutely the case, especially in the water. For a trail truck, you need to have good tires. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I guess there is one more thing that we didn't really think was fantastic, and that's the dig. We do like the dig. The dig is great. The problem with this dig is that it does need some tuning, because when you release dig, it doesn't actually immediately apply rear-wheel drive again after, as you can see in some of the footage. You release the button and it's just front-wheel drive until the rear-wheel drive decides to kick back in. So we'll have to investigate that and do a follow-up in a later video. Moving into pros, or the things that we did like, we do like everything else about the vehicle. You know, it comes with two-piece wheels, so you can take these tires off if you want, which is a fantastic option. They're not glued. The body itself looks fantastic. The scale-esque-ness of the truck is just there. You know, you look at the interior and it's not something that you're gonna think that's real, but at the same time, it's not something that looks super fake either. There's a lot of detail, there's a lot of intricacies, there's a lot of stickers, but it is what it is. It allows you to make this truck your own truck. With that being said, would we buy it again? Absolutely. I'd buy again in a heartbeat. I think that this is one of the better trucks that's come out within the last year, outside of dedicated crawling trucks. It's going to be an exciting build for sure. So we've already got some things added to our shopping cart. We've already got some other surprises, which I'm about to show you. This should be a very fun series. With that being said, before I let everyone go, I do have a question. Which wheel and tire combination do you prefer? So we have a set of Vanquish KMC Riots. Do you prefer the BFG KM3 crawler, or do you prefer the stock Mickey Thompson? You tell me. Leave a comment below and we will mount these wheels on those tires and use them. These are more permanent wheels. As you can see, they have a cap on them, which makes it a little more challenging to remove them and replace tires. One of the things that you need to know about this, if you do buy these wheels, the link's in the description below, the cap is too short for your traditional 6 to 8 millimeter hubs. You will need some longer hubs to use these wheels, otherwise you won't be able to get this cap on, because the stock wheel uses these real authentic looking hub that screw on over the wheel nut. The Axial is a little bit longer, meaning that you're gonna have to run a longer hub to get these caps on. I'm leaning more towards the crawler, but I like the crawler compound better than the stock Mickey Thompson compound. However, if we have enough votes for the KMC and the stock Mickey Thompsons, I'll run those. Let us know in the comments below which one you like better. As always, huge thanks for watching the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next updates or installments for this build. Huge shout out to all of the TABO Club members. We really appreciate the support from everyone very, very much. Thanks all for watching. We hope you have a great day.